Imagine opening your home to your mother-in-law, trusting her, feeding her, hugging her at family dinners, only to find out she had been trying to destroy your marriage for 2 years. Not loudly, not obviously. She smiled in my face. She called me sweetheart. She told everyone how happy she was that her son had found someone. But behind closed doors, she was poisoning my husband against me. One phone call at a time, one lie at a time, one family member at a time. And the worst part, everyone believed her. Until Thanksgiving night, when I connected my phone to the living room TV and let her own voice destroy everything. This is part one of the story of how I caught my mother-in-law and how karma finally sat down at the family dinner table. My name is Sarah. I married Jake 3 years ago, and for the first year of our marriage, I honestly believed I had been lucky. Jake was kind, patient, protective. He was the kind of man who made ordinary days feel safe, and his family seemed perfect too, especially his mother, Linda. When I first met her, she hugged me like I already belonged. She brought homemade food to our apartment. She helped us pick curtains for our first house. She gave me recipes and called me daughter. Everyone kept telling me how lucky I was. Linda is amazing. She treats everyone like family. You're so lucky your mother-in-law loves you. And at first, I believed them, but slowly, little things started changing. Linda called Jake every day, not once, not twice, sometimes 4 or 5 times. If Jake didn't answer, she would text. If he didn't text back, she would call again. I didn't want to be the jealous wife, so I stayed quiet. But then I noticed something else. Whenever I answered Jake's phone by accident, Linda's voice changed. With Jake, she sounded soft, warm, sweet, but with me, cold, short, like I had interrupted something that belonged only to her. One day, I answered and said, "Hi Linda, Jake's in the shower. Do you want me to tell him you called?" There was a pause. Then she said, "No, I'll speak to my son directly." And she hung up. That was the first time something inside me shifted, because sometimes your heart knows the truth before your mind is ready to accept it. Over the next few months, Jake started acting different. Not cruel, not angry, just distant. He stopped sharing the small details of his day. He started asking strange questions. "Do you think I spend enough time with my family? Do you think you're too focused on work? Do you think we rushed into marriage?" Every question felt like it had been planted by someone else. Then one night, I heard him talking to Linda in the kitchen. I wasn't trying to listen, but then I heard my name. Linda's voice was low, calm, almost gentle, and somehow that made it worse. She said, "Jake, I'm only saying this because I love you." Then came the words I will never forget. "She is not like us." Silence. "She will never understand our family." Another pause. "You still have time to fix this mistake." My whole body went cold. A mistake. That was what she called me. Not his wife, not family. A mistake. Jake didn't defend me right away. That hurt more than anything. He just said, "Mom, please don't start." But she kept going. "She's ambitious, Jake. Too ambitious. Women like that don't build homes. They build lives for themselves and drag their husbands along behind them." I went back upstairs before I could hear any more. I sat on the edge of our bed in the dark, and for the first time, I realized my marriage had 3 people in it. Me, Jake, and Linda. After that night, I started paying attention, quietly, carefully, because when someone is trying to destroy your life, they usually make one mistake. They get comfortable, and Linda was very comfortable. A few weeks later, Jake left his phone on the kitchen counter. A message appeared from his sister. It said, "Mom says Sarah is keeping you away from us again." My hands froze. Again, I opened the family group chat, and that was when everything finally made sense. Linda had been talking about me for months, not just to Jake, to his sister, his cousins, his aunt, even his father. She told them I was controlling, that I was trying to cut him off from his family, that I was only interested in his money. She had been sending Jake pictures of other women she decided were better suited for him. One message said, "This is the kind of woman you should have married." I felt sick, not because Linda hated me. I had already figured that out. I felt sick because Jake had seen all of it, and he had never told me. When he came back inside, I was still standing in the kitchen with his phone in my hand. He stopped. His face changed. He knew exactly what I had found. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Then I asked him one question. How long? His eyes dropped, and that was my answer. I didn't scream. I placed the phone on the counter and said, "You're going to tell me everything." And that night, he did. He told me his mother had been saying things for almost 2 years. He admitted the truth. He had been too weak to fully stand up to her. And that hurt, because sometimes betrayal is not only the person who attacks you. Sometimes betrayal is the person who watches it happen and calls it complicated. I didn't know yet what I was going to do, but I knew one thing. Linda had gotten very comfortable. Always make mistakes. Part 2 is coming, and that is where karma finally shows up.